All right, so this is going to be my official Naoya Inoue versus Stephen Fulton prediction. Naoya Inoue, in my opinion, one of the 2 or 3 best fighters in the world. Just won undisputed late last year at bantamweight. He's moving up to the 122-pound division to fight the #1 guy in the division. No tune-up, no bullshit. He's fighting for Stephen Fulton's unified WBC and WBO titles at 122 pounds. Let's start by going through the tail of the tape. Naoya Inoue's 30 years old. He stands at 5'5" and has a 67.5-inch reach. His record reached 24 wins, 0 defeats, and 21 wins coming by way of knockout. Stephen Fulton stands at 5'6.5 inches. He has a 70.5-inch reach. His record reached 21 wins, 0 defeats, and 8 wins coming by way of knockout. So a couple things stand out to me on the tail of the tape. One is that Fulton has a 3-inch reach advantage, which is a nice advantage to have, but I don't think it's going to be something that plays too much of a factor in this fight, other than it being part of Fulton's jab. They're both in their prime. Like I said before, to me, this is top 2 fights of the year. This one and Loma Haney were my top 2 fights of the year. Even over Crawford Spence, because that got a little over-marinated by my estimation. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy we're getting Crawford Spence, but it's not even the best fight that week, let alone of the year. I think I think Stephen Fulton, and I do give Stephen Fulton credit for going over to Japan and fighting the #2 pound for pound, in my book, the #2 pound for pound fighter in the world. He's brave for doing that, but I also didn't like the fact that Fulton said that Inoue's only getting praised because he's Japanese, which is freaking hilarious. The guy's a 3-weight champion with 2 Hall of Famers on his record. He cleared out the entire bantamweight division and went undisputed. Now he's going for his fourth title in a 4th division. You know what I'm saying? So that's just ridiculous talk from Stephen Fulton. I didn't like when he said that, so now I want... Initially, I didn't have a dog in the race, but since Stephen Fulton wanted to play the nationality race card, whatever you want to call it, now I want Inoue to put him in a casket. And I think he will. But I think Stephen Fulton's going to have a hard time over in Japan against a hostile crowd. Not that the Japanese aren't disrespectful, but I just think Inoue's mentality is different. Inoue is dangerous throughout all 12 rounds. A lot of these biased American channels get it confused. They think Inoue is some dumb, slow-footed, rugged, flat-footed brawler, and he's not. He's very measured. He's got very crispy footwork. Everybody keeps talking about the footwork of Fulton, Inoue has great footwork too. And that's one of the big reasons why I don't think Fulton's going to be able to keep him off for all 12 rounds. I think Inoue, as elusive as Stephen Fulton is, I don't think he's good enough to keep Inoue off of him for 12 rounds. I think that I think Stephen Fulton's elusive enough to confuse Naoya Inoue for the early portion of this fight. Maybe be up 3, what the hell is this? What in God's name is this? Anyways, I think Fulton's got the ability and the elusiveness to keep Inoue off of him for the early rounds. I wouldn't even be surprised if Stephen Fulton was like up 3-1 after 4 rounds, because Inoue might have a little trouble finding him. His jab and his reach might give Inoue a little puzzle to figure out there. But Fulton does get hit with body shots. He's not immune to getting hit. He's not Pernell Whitaker. And I think that slowly but surely, those body shots are going to start to take their toll on Stephen Fulton. I think once we get to the middle portion of this fight, round 5, 6, 7, I think the tide will have completely shifted in Inoue's favor. So like I say, I think that Fulton is going to get off to a very good start in this fight, and everybody's going to be freaking out. Oh my God, we can't believe it. Fulton's outboxing Inoue. He's giving him a boxing lesson. Then once you hit round 5, 6, 7, those body shots are going to start to take their toll, and the tide's going to completely shift into Inoue's favor. And after that, in the second half of this fight, I think it's going to get really, really rough for Stephen Fulton in there. And I think Fulton has some heart. I think he has some balls. I think he showed a little bit of that in the Figueroa fight, which, as long as we're bringing up the Figueroa fight, we have to bring up the fact that he probably should have lost that fight. It was close. It was too that Figueroa fight was too close to call it a robbery. But in my opinion, the wrong man got the decision. At best, it was a draw for Fulton. But if anybody deserved to win it, it was Figueroa, right? And that brings me to another point of mine. Stephen Fulton does not have the power to keep Inoue off of him. He doesn't. That's why I keep calling him Black Paulie Malignaggi. He does not have the power to keep Inoue off of him. I understand that Inoue's moving up in weight. You guys got to remember, Inoue got his fucking eye broken, his orbital bone broken by Nonito Donaire, who can hit like a mule, bro. If he's not even dropping Naoya Inoue, what in the hell makes you think Stephen Fulton's going to be able to keep Inoue off of him? Come on, man. Be a little smarter than that. So, I don't think Fulton's going to be... I think he'll be able to keep him at bay with his elusiveness and his jab for the first handful of rounds. But eventually the tide is going to shift into Inoue's favor. The body shots are going to start to take their toll on Stephen Fulton. And like I say, not to repeat myself, but in the back half of this fight, it's going to get very, very bad for Fulton. I don't think, and this is another thing I keep hearing with regards to Inoue. Well, we don't know if his power is going to translate to 122 pounds. Bro, he's moving up 4 pounds. You can eat 2 double cheeseburgers and be in that weight. Yes, his power is going to translate over to the next weight class. It's 4 pounds. It's not like he's going from 168 to light heavyweight, or light heavyweight to cruiserweight, or some massive jump up in weight, or multiple weight classes. He's going up 4 pounds, people. So there's not even a shadow of a doubt in my mind that Inoue's power is going to translate. But just to kind of sum this all up, I think, like I said, I think Fulton's going to get off to a fast start. He'll win the first couple of rounds. But eventually, the footwork is going to wane. The body shots are going to take their toll. And Fulton's legs will slow down. Once Fulton's legs slow down in the second half of this fight, Inoue's going to capitalize on that. And then Stephen Fulton's going to crumble. So for my official prediction, I got Naoya Inoue stopping Stephen Fulton late. I'm going to say in the 11th round he gets Stephen Fulton out of there. I think Fulton will give a valiant effort. I think he'll wear his heart on his sleeve that night. And I do think he'll give a good account of himself. But Inoue is special, bro. Yes, his power is going to translate. Yes, the body shots are going to take their toll on Stephen Fulton. All of that stuff is going to happen. Okay? That's just my 2 cents on it. Feel free, we've had a good handful of super fights this year. We've had Plant Benavidez, Ryan Tank, Loma Haney, Taylor Teofimo. I got 3 out of those 4 right because that Loma Haney fight was a robbery. So the only one I got wrong was Taylor Teofimo, and that's because we didn't really know what either guy was going to look like going into that fight, right? So, yeah, man. Like I say, I think Fulton will get off to a good start. Eventually, the body shots will take their toll. Fulton's not going to have the power to keep Inoue off of him, and towards the middle portion of the fight, the tide will shift into Inoue's favor. It's going to get bad in there for Fulton in round 7, 8, 9, and I think Inoue's going to stop him in the 10th, 11th round. So that's my 2 cents, guys. That's my official prediction. I hope you enjoyed the video. God bless you all. Please make sure to hit the like and subscribe. And everybody have a lovely day. God bless and take care.